a marriage have the security of both a monogamous relationship and financial security. But what do we as females do when we're in a committed relationship, either in a same-sex marriage or in a committed relationship without the binds of the financial security? How do we go about making sure that our commitment is safe financially? I'm here with Sally Hall. She's a personal financial advisor, and she's going to answer these questions for us today.
Well, there's about 7 areas that, as a woman, if you're not in a legal marriage or if the state does not recognize your civil unions, that you miss out on federally. And that goes from the marriage, the separation of the relationship, how do you pass on retirement assets, death, and medical. And the 3 areas that I like to say, to me, everybody needs is a power of attorney, that's medically and also financially, a will and a trust, and if there's kids, it's parental agreement.
Now, how many years, though, after you've been in a committed relationship is it necessary to get this done? And, like, when do you move about getting your attorney? I mean, that just seems so drastic sometimes. You don't think about that. How do you know when it's needed?
And it's always good to talk to somebody at the professional level, but just as a broad sense, it does depend on where you are financially. So if there isn't a need, you know, your assets are already separated, such as you have or one woman has a retirement plan and then their partner also has a retirement plan. Just make sure inside the retirement plan there is a beneficiary designation.
So the minute you guys start combining things, then you get your butt to an attorney and make sure you're safe.
Correct.
It's no longer just about combining CDs and movies. Once you get the money involved is when we have to protect ourselves.
It's a great way to look at it.
What are some of the things, like, as a woman, that you think are the basic steps to keep ourselves financially secure?
To make sure you have a retirement plan that has a beneficiary designation, and the beneficiary designation does show your spouse, that your assets are within what's called a joint with rights of survivorship. Okay. So if something does happen to your partner, it does pass on to you, or you have a will and a trust.
Now, do you think that we as women are kind of on the back burner as that goes? I mean, men in a relationship, if it separates, you know, they get a lot of things and their freedom and all of that, but what happens to them that's different than what happens to us when we dissolve that relationship and that partnership, whether it be same-sex or whether it be, you know, as a single woman out of a committed relationship?
I'd like to view that as, if we're in the back burner, it's because we put ourselves there.
Okay.
So we just have to make sure that we don't put ourselves in the back burner, because we are actually equal, 50-50.
Yeah.
We have as much right to what the men have in the separations.
So just, you know, make sure that you know that yourself, and get yourself to a bank, get yourself to an attorney, get yourself to anything.
Right, and again, the 3 things to remember: beneficiary designation, joints with rights of survivorship, and a will and a trust. Those are the 3 things I think
Very cool.
everybody
And
needs.
as a personal financial advisor, why should somebody come to you? Why should, as a female, should I come to you? What makes you different and your service is different from, you know, the attorneys or the banks? How would I come to you, and how would I even know to come to you?
Great show. Referrals is a great source for any professional help. You know, talk to your friends. It's not just about picking up the phone, but talk to your friends and see who they use, and if they're reaching their goals, then it's probably somebody that will help you reach yours.
And your services are much more private. I mean, I'd rather go to somebody that knows about my situation or that knows what I'm going through than going to some Joe Schmo at a bank you're just a name on a form. And you give them personalized service that actually helps them to kind of map out where they're going. Correct. And make a safeguard. Correct. Which is so necessary right now. So necessary.
I believe that.
Definitely. Because in relationships, we have to make sure that as much as there is love, you also have to be realistic. Right. And that's what you were saying. And
the difference between a same-sex or a non-married couple, the difference on there is we don't have the rights. You know, we're not given that, so we do have to take the precautions.
Well, hopefully that'll change, because everyone deserves it. So I thank you so much for coming today. Please make sure that you protect yourself. Where is the website that they can find you or find any information about this?
Actually, they can just go to Raymond James Financial Services, and I'm located in Azalea Park.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, Sally Hall.